What's going on YouTube, man? It's your boy, the True Raw Gaming. Why don't wrap it up for you, man? I don't sugarcoat it for you. It's gonna get that shit to you raw, man. Today's the day. We're doing a how to beat Nobushi video. We're gonna go through just about every single thing that I know about how to beat this character. We're gonna talk about how to beat the lights, because I know the light spam is a pretty big thing with this character. It's probably the biggest issue with this character. We're gonna teach you about how to deal with the kick mix-up. And just essentially, we're gonna go through every single thing that I possibly know about. If you enjoy the video, if you enjoy these type of videos, make sure you drop a like, man. Go drop a comment, let me know so we can keep these videos going. I'm gonna be starting with the Samurai faction. This is the first one up. I did Shinobi a while ago. Now it's Nobushi, so let's go ahead and get straight into it, man. First up, how to beat Nobushi. First, we need to identify who Nobushi is. This is for the newer players. This is what Nobushi looks like. I have the event armor on. This is like the sort of limited edition armor. But for Nobushi, she's a hybrid. She's for the Samurai faction. So with that telling us she has pretty good movement. Typically, the Samurais are pretty good at the game. So let's talk about some of the strengths she has. The strengths, obviously, we have the bleeding capability, and that's probably the biggest one. That's going to cause you problems. That's where all the damage is going to come from. We have dodge cancels. If you're not familiar with dodge cancels, she can do an attack and then dodge right after to close up that gap between the recoveries. She has a stance change that has iframe, so it counts as a dodge, and she can counter back onto you. She has some pretty good, decent damage. The damage potential is definitely there, but it depends on your opponent and how well they're able to deal with the mix-ups, how well they're not able to deal with the mix-ups. So pretty much your strength is only as good as how good your opponent is. If your opponent's trash, you're probably gonna have a lot of damage hitting out. That's how that goes. The weaknesses for this character, light parries, obviously. That's probably the easiest way to get this character out of there. If not, then you can just block the lights with ease. If you can block the lights with ease, you'll have a very good, easy time with this character. Having an active guard, I'm going to show you what that is, undodgeables and dodge bashes. First things up, we're going to show you guys how to beat the light spam. That's probably the most important part that we're probably all watch this video for. Active guard, I'm showing you right now how to actually get to the settings. If you go to your dead zone, this is all your settings right now. It's like your advanced control tunings right here. If you change your dead zone, it actually allows you to move your guard and switch it faster between different positions. You can swap to up, left, and right very quickly. Now, I will say this, I have mine turned down. This is going to depend on what kind of controller you have. If you have a pretty old controller, it's probably broken in a little bit. You need to kind of see how yours operates. Mine's a fairly new controller. I just got a replacement on. So I kind of know how this is going to work because I've had this controller before. But as you can see, if you can shut down the lights, there is not really anything that this character can do. They're going to be forced to play defense because this character doesn't have, you know, a whole lot of extraness going with it, you know, as far as neutral game, I would say. This right here, I'm going to show you what a comparison looks like when you have it, your dead zone really high. Now, this isn't going to be as exaggerated as on this controller, but if I was using my other controller at the time of recording this, you would see a completely different thing. I would not be able to physically get my guard out fast enough to stop these lights. And as you're going to see in a minute, that I'm going to start getting hit a little bit more than I usually do. So as you can see, I can't get my guard if I'm not already in that rhythm. You know what I'm saying? If I just so happen to miss it, I'm going to start missing those lights. And I think that's the problem with it is a lot of people don't know about this setting. Like I said, there's a lot of things in this game that just aren't taught to you. So a lot of you guys probably have yours still at the default, which is probably too high for your controller. Or maybe your controller's too worn in. You got a little stick drift. You're going to have to adjust your dead zone. You know, that way you get the correct inputs. So that's just that. As you can see, I took a little bit more hits, but I have a fairly new controller. It doesn't look as bad. The bleed damage is actually where all the damage is going to come from. I don't know how to say that. Let's say how I can say this. Without the bleed, this character wouldn't be anything. It would just be lights, kicks, and it would be a very trash character. So they had to implement the bleed. Now, I'm going to show you what the bleed looks like when you just do the complete full stream. So as you can see how much damage that's doing. I'm not even going to try to count the number. I had it, but I'm not counting it again. As you can see how much damage it is. That's pretty good damage. That's pretty good damage. You might be like, oh, it's not that bad. But we're not even talking about attacks stacking onto that because she does more damage when you're bleeding than she does normally. As you can see, there's 2 light strings, 2 complete light strings. You're done. You don't really have much left, and now your health is gone. So we need to identify how we can stop this bleed because we know that's how all the damage is coming through. And as you can see, she can only cancel out of her bleed moves. All right, now I'm just kind of looking through the list. I'm looking for the names. You know, I'm just kind of looking through the move sets. And you can all do this when you guys go to training. You can kind of just take a look at it. It really doesn't take much to learn another character unless you want to go deep and learn all the extra mix-ups. But if we just understand that only the damage is coming is from the bleed. As you can see, if you look at the animation at the tip of the weapon, it turns red. That means it's procting bleed on the target. So at any point, once you proc that bleed, that's when you can get your dodge. Okay, you can't just dodge whenever you want. You can't just dodge cancel whenever you want. As you can see, that's a bleeding type of move. I can move. Once I do that full light string, I can't move after. I can't dodge after. As you can see, I can't dodge. Absolutely, you cannot mash after doing the full light string. I'm going to show you that right now. You can't. You can only parry. There's an option right there that they can do. There's a dodge option that they can do, but it's not a dodge cancel. They can go into their stance, which they have to time it correctly. They can't just spam it, right? They can't just light out of it, though. That's the whole thing we want to show you. You cannot just mash out of it. You can't do that, okay? You can't do it no matter how hard or how fast they think they're doing it. They cannot just hit light after finishing that full light string. They can dodge. They can do whatever they want. They can do dodge attacks. They can't do a dodge heavy attack, though. They can only do a dodge light, okay? And dodge light should be a free light for you. That should be a free light for you. So with this information, we know that there's only so many moves this character can dodge after. And everything else has to be a kick or it has to be an in-chain light. So now we're starting to get the understanding of what this hero can actually do. The kick is really nothing without the follow-up attack. The kick is absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. And I'm going to show you in this clip. They can kick you to death, but they're only gonna get a light. They're only gonna get a light. Now the problem you may be having is, how do I stop the kick? You don't have to stop the kick. You don't have to. Don't stress yourself out. You do not have to stop the kick. You really don't. If you get kicked, oh well, they only get a light. It's bleeding light. That's about it. But it's the follow-up. Now I had to do it in game because I just couldn't get the bot to do it, and I didn't have anybody online to help me. So as you're gonna see, I'm gonna get kicked here, and immediately I blocked the light. Stop. It's over. I don't care. I might have died here, obviously, but the point I'm trying to get here is I stopped the follow-up light. That's what you want to look for. More times out of not, these guys are gonna throw a second light because they do not want to give up that kick. That kick is what's gonna get you a GB. They're afraid of getting GB. That risk is not worth it. So they're gonna continue the light to get that bleed proc. That's what they want. They want you to bleed at all times. As you see here, this is a one-on-one. I'm going to completely shut him down with the lights. He doesn't know what to do now. Now he's lost. He's looking for help. He's got his help. He's looking. Now he's trying to get that bleed, as you can see. He's trying to get the bleed. That's the second attack he's done, is proccing bleed. There's an undodgeable. He's trying to catch me. And as you're starting to see, this character is really more a problem in 4s than it is 1s now. If you actually pay attention to how the mix-ups and how the combos work. It's more of a, as you can see, she's more doing the same thing over and over. She has the same kind of game plan. Now, this isn't just some rep 70, obviously, but this is a person who plays this character enough. So if you can see, this is kind of what the character can do. I just want to keep this video short, man. That's really about it. The main points is the lights is going to be a problem. If you can block it, you're having an easy time, okay? They're going to try to go for the light more times than they're going to go for the kick. So if you get kicked, just block the follow-up light. If you get lighted, just block the follow-up light. Keep an active guard. You don't want your hands to sit still. You want them to constantly move. The kick isn't nothing, man. Do not parry the undodgeable. I forgot to say that. Do not parry the undodgeable. It's not worth it. If you guys enjoy the video, hey, we got more coming. Go ahead, pick down below. Drop in the comments below. Who do you guys want next, man? If you guys enjoy the video, man, thank y'all for coming out, man. I don't wrap it up for you. I don't sugarcoat it for you. Just gonna get this shit to you raw, man. Thank y'all for coming out.